Oh my goodness. Is that her? Can you hear me?
Hey,
What's up, B? How you doing?
I'm awesome. How are you?
Oh my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, right now I got the original Queen Bee, the gangster from Albuquerque, the two-wheel mama. Man, I'm telling you, Brittany Morrow, I don't have enough superlatives to talk. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart to explain you to my viewers. I mean, anybody who rides, they know you, but I'm trying to expand my audience. And I honestly, you were one of my top 5 sheroes of all time. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart, man. I don't know when I started following you on Instagram, but and I didn't even know about, what happened. And I just started following because you rode and I just like anybody that rides. And then your story, I was like, oh my gosh. And then honestly, last week I go, who do I want as a guest? And I go, oh, it's gotta be you. Honestly, I go, it's gotta be her. And the funny thing about it was like, are you in Albuquerque right now?
I am. I'm sitting at home, locked up in my house.
In Albuquerque? In Albuquerque?
Yes.
Oh, you know what?
Albuquerque, Mexico, the Burque.
Well, well, the thing about it is, I ask you that because, and I'm not gonna bust you out. But I remember I was following you on social media. I'm not gonna tell you when it was, and I was like, "Oh, you're so lucky to be where you are." And then you hit me up on a direct message. You go, "Hey, I'm not really, I'm not really."
The power of the interwebs.
And I swear to God, I go, you know what? From there on out, I don't know why, but I said, you know what? From there on out, now we're bestest buddies because you go,
Aw.
"Hey, I'm not."
That was our shining moment. I told you all my secrets.
Man, you have no idea how much I laughed because I go, "Oh, you're so lucky." Then you hit me up on a direct message. I love that, man. So anyway, I was looking you up, B, and I don't really want to go through the usual because I know you go through the same damn questions about what happened, blah 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 blah. But just for those who are unaware of your story, I mean, if you just want to gloss over, because I want to, go beyond that, but it is very compelling about what you went through and the fact that and where you are today, because sometimes it takes a traumatic moment to get you to where you are now and makes you a better person. So if you just want to gloss over it, because I know you're sick of telling the story, but if you could just tell the viewers who don't know you, introduce yourself to the people who don't know you.
Yeah, no worries. If I was sick of telling my story, then I guess I'm doing it wrong because it's kind of my life's purpose now. So really, the nutshell version of this is I was a young 20-year-old girl who loved riding as a passenger on motorcycles. And I got the opportunity to go on a ride with a guy I had met at a party. Didn't even know his last name. He asked me to go for a ride with him and his friends the next morning. And I said, yes, of course. But my one thing that I asked him for was to borrow a helmet. That's the only right thing that I did that day. So one of his friends brought over a full face G-Max helmet that was 3 sizes too big and probably 8 years old. And, just threw it at me and said, here you go, here's your borrowed helmet. And we were hungover from the night before and we stopped at IHOP and, did the normal like girl on the back of a bike date thing. And usually that ends up fine, but my story didn't end that way. I went off the back of his GSXR 750 at 120 miles an hour.
Oh.
I was wearing just a sweatshirt and jeans and a pair of tennis shoes. And what was I wearing underneath? A bikini. I don't know what my plans were later. I mean, we don't have a beach or whatever, but I don't know what I was thinking. I was 20. What can I say?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was skinned alive. I had a massive amount of injuries to tendons and bones from my shoulder, my back, both my kneecaps, my toes, my left ankle, just, things that you never really recover from because you've torn things apart and ground bones down and ripped off all your skin. It took months and months and months for me to really just even have a grasp on an attempt at being normal again. So my parents' lives were put on hold while they were visiting me in the hospital. I was actually training for the Marine Corps at that time. So I lost that entire career path. It was gone forever because now I'm damaged goods. I had 9 surgeries, a blood clot in my leg. I was basically fighting for my life because of a stupid one-time decision. And that was definitely, like you said, a traumatic experience that kind of woke me up and made me think, what am I living for? And what am I going to leave behind? One of the things that really stands out for me in my crash was I laid in the road for 45 minutes before the ambulance got there. And so I had time to think about what people were going to say about me at my funeral, because I thought I was going to die. And at 20 years old, that's kind of a Godsmack, really.
Yeah.
And because I was given a second chance, I decided that I should probably make an example out of myself. So not just the poster child for stupid young decisions, but also wanted to show people that there's a better way of doing it. And not just riding motorcycles, but living your life. So it's kind of a twofold thing.
Now, when you were laying there, I mean, did it when you were looking up at the sky, did you pray or did you go, okay, this or whatever will be, will be? Or I mean, because I always find that when you feel death is imminent, or you feel this could be it, how people look at it. I don't know if you read Guy Martin's book. He's talking about, he's at the Isle of Man, and when he lost it, and in the beginning of the book, and he goes, when he's sliding across that road and you're going to hit something, he goes, I just thought whatever will be, will be. And that grabbed me. And there's something about almost death that it fascinates me. And so I want to know, like, in that last minute when you're looking up at the sky and you're thinking, oh God, is this it? And do you find yourself praying, or do you just go, whatever, I just want to be out of this pain? What was that mindset then?
So awesome question, actually, because no one ever really asks me that. I was laying face down on the ground, and so I was staring at the road. And the people who were with me on the ride, they were like stabilizing me in the position that I was in, so they didn't let me move around. So it really was just kind of darkness, staring at the ground. But I'm gonna go with Guy Martin on this one. You kind of accept the state that you're in. I kind of accepted the fact that I was going to die. But honestly, what stood out for me the most in those moments were that because I wasn't living my life in a way that was for others, I was being very selfish at the time.
Well, you're 20. I mean, that's what we do, when you're 20.
It is true, especially when you're 20. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I started to think about all the things that I had done wrong to people that I loved. And that's hard to face as a 20-year-old, because I thought I was never going to have a chance to right those wrongs. And I had a chance to do it. But that's what was going through my head was, I'm going to die. I've accepted this fact. I really just want it over, because the pain that my body was feeling was quite equal to the pain that my heart was feeling from knowing that I was going to leave the world with unsaid things, apologies that needed to be made, and just the way that I had been living, just it wasn't the way I wanted to go out.
Wow. Honestly, you know what? But you had that presence of mind at 20. I only started, and I tell people all the time, and I want this to be my new comedy album, or my last comedy album to be, I'm finally getting life. I mean, you got it at 20, unfortunately, through an unfortunate circumstance, but it took me being basically an asshole and not realizing to like 45 or 50, I start thinking, what am I doing with and then I think my roommate has a kid, and that to me is just, it's helped me out so much. And now I realize, so this is what life is about. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not about me, it's about somebody else. And so, but I don't beat yourself up because like I say, you're 20, man. How many things have you done at 18 or 20? You go, man, fuck the world. You're always flipping the camera. Man, fuck you're drinking and doing this and that. And, somebody, look at this old son of a bitch, that's what you do. Like, I don't get too mad if anybody wants to, like, sometimes you run across kids and they kind of want to bow up on you or whatever. And you go, okay, I get it. I mean, I'm only going to take so much, but he's like, okay, I get it. So, I mean, unfortunately, it took you that, but then you've had a chance to right the wrong. And here's what I admire about you is you could have easily gone down a different path. There's always paths you can go down, but you chose the positive part. And then you really, and it just went head over heels back on the bikes again. Was it 7 months or 7 years that you got another bike? That you got a bike?
7 months out of the hospital.
7 months out of that, you got a bike, and you start riding yourself instead of being a passenger, right?
Yes.
And
I think that was the PTSD made me do that.
Well, here's what I know about you too. You just told me you wanted to be in the Marines.
Yeah, my career goal was to be a combat journalist. I call it combat camera.
Right.
So that's what I mean. I was training to go into the Marine Corps in the delayed enlistment program.
You're going to be in the Corps?
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
my God. Are you serious? That is kick ass. Now, I know I talked about like, you can't do any sports anymore. Like, you're very athletic. What sport did you do? Like, what sports did you do before the accident?
Oh man, I played so many sports growing up. I was such a tomboy, but really my sport of choice was soccer. Ever since I was 6 years old,
Yes.
everything else that I tried,
Yeah.
I just kept going back to soccer. So I played all the way through my high school years, and
Nice.
yeah, so lots of running around and pivoting and stuff that I can't do anymore. My knees are like, nope, not gonna do that. So
Midfielder? Were you a midfielder? Where were you?
no, I was a striker.
Oh, look
More
at
than
you.
goals.
Are you serious? You're like,
Kick that ball real hard.
you're like Megan Rapinoe.
Oh man, those girls are just amazing. I love what they stand for, and that
Don't you?
ass.
Honestly, yeah. Megan Rapinoe, to me, I respected her so much when she kneeled also, like Colin Kaepernick did. She kneeled also, and then when they asked her, "You gonna go to the White House?" No, I'm not going to the fucking White House. And man, I tell you, after that, I mean, I always respected the women. It's funny because I was the only one I was following the women in soccer before it was fashionable. When they won that first World Cup, I remember I was at a Hooters in Kentucky. I was at a Hooters in Lexington. And when, I know.
That's where I went to college.
Are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
So we probably
went to UK.
Get out of here. I did comedy off Broadway.
Oh my God.
Yes, we probably met each other and didn't even know it.
That's funny.
You were probably digging me. I didn't even know it. But anyway, I was watching. But I remember being at that Hooters, and I was watching the first Women's World Cup when what's her name took this
Mia Hamm.
No, Mia Hamm. What's her name? When she scored on that penalty kick, and she took the sports bar. What's her name? Oh, I forget.
Call me out, BT. You make me look like a real soccer fan.
Well, that's what I do. I'm doing my combat journalism. How about that? I'm not letting you skate through this interview. But I remember when she told her sports bar, because I remember I was the only one. I went, yes! And I start screaming. And the whole restaurant looked at me like, man, what are you doing, man? It's women's soccer, man. I mean, but I've always been into women's sports because there's something about, and I love tomboys. And I just love women who do sports because there's something about women who do sports. They're just a little, and this is just me, they're a little bit tougher. They're a little bit, there's a little more play in them where I don't know. I can't explain it, but they've always been my favorites. You know what I mean? Women who do sports, they've always had a certain kind of, like, they know what it's like to dig deep and get to that, like that last goal or my wrestling coach called the nut cutting time when it's crucial. You need a takedown. You got to get this point. It's 10 seconds left. You got to go. So you know what that's like to dig deep when you're tired. You can't get a breath. And they go, hey, Brittany, you got to score. You go, I got this, chicks. I got this, ladies. And you go in and you score. So you know what that's like. Did you play soccer for UK?
No, I didn't. No, I went to UK after my crash. So I was just barely surviving at that point as far as my health and being a normal human being. Going to school and working full time. Craziness.
So do you miss do you miss playing? Or do you still watch, or is it hard to watch?
I have dreams about playing soccer. And that's one of the things that's kind of hard to accept, is that there's such a thing as new normal people are using that nowadays with the COVID-19 stuff, right. But like a new normal is when everything's changed forever. Mm. And that's what I had to learn to deal with. And I feel like I have replaced my passion for playing soccer with motorcycling, because I love it that much that it can be the thing that I do now. Even though I wish I could also play soccer, right. I am okay and I can overcome that because I have motorcycling. Okay.
So did you get any scholarship offers for soccer?
When I was playing at the Albuquerque Academy, which is where I went to high school, I did have a partial scholarship offer to the University of Nevada at Reno. But it was for academics and soccer at the same time. So it was kind of like smart tomboy.
Like a smart egghead? A smart nerd. You're a smart nerd.
But you know what I did instead, BT? What? I followed a boy to Japan. So...
Man,
that's what you get for being an egghead.
When you like somebody, you like somebody. You follow Japan?
All of my problems are because of boys.
You gotta be like that. I mean, I'm just asking you a question. You gotta yell at me like
I
that.
know, right?
Don't take it
You're
out
off
on
the
me.
hook.
It's like my mom would get mad at my dad, and she literally slapped me one time. She was putting lotion on me, and she just hauled off and go pow and just slapped me. I go, Mama, why'd you do that? And she just started laughing and walked away. And I knew it was like because of my dad. Yeah, I mean, so yeah, you gotta take that out on me. You know, and if it makes you feel better, great. But you don't got to be that way. I'm your friend. So you followed this boy to Japan. Like, how did you meet him, and who was he? And
So Albuquerque has an Air Force base. So he was training for his Air Force job, and I was a senior in high school.
okay.
So yeah, when soccer ended, the boy craziness began. I don't know. I guess, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
Women who play sports and who are tomboys, I don't know, some of us, it catches on a little bit later, but I don't know, we feel like we aren't in the same level as other girls because we don't wear makeup and we don't do our hair, and we would rather have a ponytail and go, push boys over in the schoolyard. And then all of a sudden we realize, like, oh shit, we're just friends with everyone. We're in the friend zone.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you're like, I don't want to be looked at as just one of the boys. So it's this weird dichotomy that happens. And I don't know, for me, it happened when I was in high school. It was like, well, I guess I should probably be a girl and like boys now. So
I love that.
But so I just went, for the gold, man.
But I love that though, because me and my brother both were talking. The greatest look for, at least to me, the greatest look for a woman, honestly, is when they got the sweatpants on and they got the flip flops on because they probably just got through working out and they got whatever kind of sweatshirt on or whatever, and they got their hair in a little ponytail because they just got through working out. That to me is the hottest look ever. I mean, the just got through working out look. I love that. I mean, I take that over prim and prissy and I mean it from the bottom of my heart. That's why I say athletes have always been my, like, if I had to choose like what women, that do it for you, it's always been athletes, man. So I love that. Yeah. But then you went boy crazy, went to Japan.
Yeah. Went to Japan, lived there for 2 years.
Your parents let you?
I was 18. Everybody tried to stop me. Everyone was like, you are making a mistake. And it just made me want to do it even more.
Because you're 18 and you can't stop Brittany Morrow. You can only hope to contain her.
Yeah. Well, what do you do if you come across a unicorn in the forest? Do you catch it? Because you can't put that thing in a cage. So, I mean, you just revel in its beauty and let it go on its way. So that's, yeah.
No, those are good mushrooms. That is. If you see a unicorn, that's really good mushrooms. Like, wow, man, that's a unicorn.
I definitely had an amazing time in Japan, but the relationship didn't work out. So when I came back, I was in this mode where I was pissed off because I was wrong. And I didn't want to tell everybody that I was wrong.
Yeah.
So I was being very selfish. I partied a lot. I drank. I did drugs. I, did whatever I wanted. And then I was like, oh, I want to be in the Marine Corps. So I was trying to get things kind of back on track. And when a boy asks you if you want to go on a ride on the back of a sport bike, the tough inner athlete wannabe Marine says, hell yeah, I'm going to go prove that I'm brave and I'm strong and I'm, I could be one of the guys. And then I ended up on the ground.
So like, okay, you know what? I've looked at all the interviews, whatever happened to Sean?
So Sean was in the Air Force as well. Apparently I like that military boys.
Okay.
Once you know yourself, you just got to go with it. No,
you got to, yeah.
Sean got restationed overseas, and he did visit me in the hospital for the first couple of weeks and then kind of more sporadically. I honestly can't speak for him because we didn't stay friends for very long. I think it was really hard for him to kind of come to grips with what happened because, basically he could have killed me.
Right.
And I'm sure he felt very responsible for what happened.
Right.
But everybody deals with those types of feelings in a different way.
Yes.
So he kind of ran away.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say that he was right or wrong because we both had to kind of come to terms with what we had decided to do and what the consequences were. And I love my life now.
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at him. I don't blame him for anything. It takes two to tango.
Right. Exactly.
Really, I wish I had somebody come, use a time machine and come back from the future and shake me by the shoulders and
Yeah.
say, "You stupid girl, what are you doing?" But I don't know. I think that's probably the only thing I would have listened to is, some
Yeah.
magical wizard from the future.
Yeah. But how old,
That's
how old was he at the time? How old was he at the time?
Oh gosh, I think Sean was like 24.
Well, I mean, you're still young though. And think about it. I mean,
We were
with
kids.
with life, you just live it. Some people get it early though. Some people get life early. And man, I mean this. God bless those people. I wish I had that. I mean, like I said, I didn't start getting life till maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, it's just the truth. I mean, if you saw the way I live my life, honest, if you walked into my room right now and you go and didn't know it was me, you go, so how old is this kid? You go, no, it's a grown ass man that lives there. No, seriously, no, it's a grown man who probably who should be probably saving up for retirement right now. No, how old is this kid? I mean, that's the way I live my life still. I mean, I'm a little bit better, but I mean, I still live that way. But you have to go through life and experiences. And what I admire about you is you took that and you made it a positive because you could have easily gone down a different path. You could have got addicted to drugs and alcohol and been woe is me, but you didn't. You chose the positive path. And where did that come from? I mean, I know you had a great support system with your parents, but where did the path to go, you know what? Fuck it. Okay, this is my life. This is my second chance. I'm going down this path.
I feel like that's always been inside me.
Mhm.
A-type personality, someone who just always has been a doer rather than a talker.
Yeah,
And
I get that.
I really felt like I had a challenge in front of me
Yeah.
to fix it and show people that there was a better way to do it. And it makes me happy. It's such an amazing thing to really discover your true purpose because once you have that, nothing can stop you.
Yeah.
And I realized that I had a purpose and it was because of what had happened to me. I
Yeah.
didn't ask for that, but man, sometimes that's really what makes you realize this is why I'm here. And to be able to share my story and use my God-given talents of being a decent public speaker and writing and being a go-getter and being physically active and wanting to go and try these things, I put them all together and I have a career for the rest of my life and I'm helping people at the same time. So I
You
really feel like there's no better feeling.
you are a burrito of positiveness. I mean, seriously, that's what you are. You are. You roll
Can I be
every
nachos?
You okay, burrito and nacho. See, now see, I try to be nice. That's women for you. Give her a compliment. And what does she want? How come I can't be nachos? I mean, seriously. You give her a compliment. You know what I mean? But honestly, it's funny because this is the first, as far as I know, it's the first time we've ever talked. But from everything about you, I saw that. It's weird because I'm just going through pictures and what you put on your Instagram. But from the little that we've corresponded with, I felt like, and I'm glad you mentioned the athletic part because I mean, just talking to you now, I feel like this is what I feel like we could be great buddies. But if we were doing a sport, we would not hesitate to dismantle the other. Like if I was playing soccer against you, I would have no problem going up for it like a header and kind of giving you a little elbow in the chest, and not even feeling guilty about it. And I expect you to do the same to me. I expect
You're going down, BT.
Yeah, exactly. I expect me going through midfield and you give me one of those kind of slide and and I look at you like, and you go, and you just get up and you kind of help me up and you go, yeah, well, next time, buddy. And I go, are you serious? And we play basketball. I would expect you to give me an elbow to the check because I would do the same thing to you. And I feel that. I feel like we were racing. If we were racing right now, I would show you a wheel and then I would not hesitate to maybe take you high a little bit. Maybe, get into you and get into your head. And I would expect the same from you. But I get that from you. And that's what I like about you.
Rubbin's racing, man.
Now, this is what I want. This is what surprised me also is that you also race in Albuquerque, right? Correct me if I'm wrong, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Mhm.
no, is it a R6 Yamaha? What kind of bike is it?
Yeah, so it's actually the first bike that I bought 7 months out of the hospital. I rode that bike on the street for 12 years and then I turned it into my race bike.
Is
So it's
there
a Yamaha R6.
is there anything better than racing?
No, no. I didn't like tracks for a really long time. And let me tell you why. And I know this is a horrible thing, but it's because it was the same road in a circle over and over and over again. And I was so focused on the street and going to beautiful places and
Mhm.
adventuring that I
Mhm.
was like, oh, there's nothing to see. And it's so boring. Until I realized that I didn't have to compete against other people. I could compete against myself.
Okay.
And that's where I really started to think like, it doesn't matter if I'm the fastest person or the slowest person on the track.
Yeah.
I want to be faster than I was yesterday. I want to be faster than I was the lap before. And then it became a really exciting challenge.
Okay.
And then that became racing for me. So I started racing at the end of 2018. Started my racing career with a crash in practice.
Now, what happened? What did you do? What did you do?
Oh God, man. Decreasing radius right-hand turn. I early apexed the hell out of it, and just stayed on the throttle and kept leaning over. Something went wrong. I ran out of tire.
Did you lose focus?
I just ran right out of tire.
Did you lose focus?
No. We were writing alternate configurations, so I was still kind of learning that configuration. And I don't know, I made a stupid mistake. I missed my braking marker and turned in too early, and it happens that quick. I just remember thinking to myself like, oh man, I'm doing so good. I'm so close to the ground. and then I was on the ground.
Oh man.
But you know what? This story, I got up, got back on my motorcycle, obviously in the pits. We fixed my bike, and I raced twice more that day.
Yes.
That was completely the opposite of my first crash experience. My parents were there.
Yeah.
I got to hug them. It was like night and day. And I knew it was because I was controlling my circumstances and I had the right gear on.
Man, that's why I love that. When I read that you raced, honestly, I go, yes. And then I saw you where you crashed. I go, oh my God. Now, how was that going down? Even though you had your right gear on, did a little bit of flash go bam, and you go, oh God, I'm down, but I'm good. I mean, did it traumatize you even for a split second?
No. The funny thing was I was like, this is it. That's it. Because I low-sided. So I just, tumbled like once or twice, and then kind of like got up and was like, that's what I've been so scared of for the last 13 years.
Oh, that's awesome. That is
great.
It
was a great experience.
Now, can you get a knee down? Can you get your whole knee down?
Sometimes.
Okay. Is it because of your body? Is it because of your body?
The problem with it is that I have what's called Baker's cyst behind both knees. And it's when you have tendon damage in your knees, your body sends fluid to the area to fix it.
Okay.
But it forms an cyst like right behind your knee. So you can't bend your knee or straighten it out all the way anymore.
Oh.
And that becomes a really big issue with the proper body posture, on your motorcycle. Is you're basically supposed to be at like 145 degrees on your knees, and all of your weight is in your feet, right? Because you're loose in your upper body. So you're supposed to be squeezing a gas tank and putting pressure in your pegs. And my knees are like, we quit. So I'm constantly struggling with having proper body posture and also staying out of pain so that I can keep racing.
Like, have you tried like yoga and alternative forms of like healing or anything like that?
Yeah, the real answer is knee replacements, and I'm terrified of that.
Listen, I got
Malaysia patella.
I got both my hips replaced. I was the same way, and I just kept putting it off. And I ended up spending a lot of money for stem cell for one of my hips, and the insurance didn't cover it. So I was out of $4,000 just for an experiment, and I should just go ahead and got it done. And I got both of them done in a year. And that was like 2 years ago. And I'm still, whatever. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? I've done a couple track days, and it's just my whole goal is just to get a knee down, man. I want to get a knee down. And that's what I want to do. And then I want to race you, and I want to take you high. And that's what I want to do. I do.
I want to get a knee down, and I want to race you.
Yeah. And then I want to point at you like when the race is over, and I want us to look like we're happy, like we're arguing. And then when it's all
champagne in my face.
I'm glad you said that. I didn't go there. Yeah. I'm glad you said that. I didn't, you said that. And then it's all over. And then we point, and then it's all over. Then we give it like a little hug or whatever. And it's all good. Then we'll go have like burritos and nachos.
Burritos and nachos, yes. Don't make me choose BT.
Yeah, man. Okay, so listen, enough about bikes. Let's get to the to you. Other than bikes, now what are your interests? What's your guilty pleasure that people don't know about? Your guilty pleasure, like you go, I can't believe she does that. Now, what is it about you that people wouldn't know? Be surprised, like Brittany likes that. Is it bubble bath?
Netflix and chill. I mean,
oh shit.
no.
Okay.
I have a boyfriend. Okay, gosh.
You do? You got a boyfriend?
Yes, I
Good
do.
for you.
I have a boyfriend. He owns his own motorcycle suspension business. So we're kind of a match made in heaven.
You're just using him for his show. That's all. You're just using him for his show.
I use him as my personal mechanic, and that's it.
Look at you. You're a user. You're a user.
Pay each other in sexual favors. That's it. Yeah,
man. See, I'm starting to love you even more now. Like, put that dampener on for you. Oh, here we go. Does he ride too? Does he ride also?
Yeah, he's actually a state championship dirt bike racer.
What's his name?
So,
can you give his name?
David Hall. Yeah.
Okay, I'll look him up and then tell him he's got some competition. I'm gonna come down there.
Perfect.
I'm gonna Dakar rally my way to Albuquerque, and I'm gonna find this David Hall guy.
Oh, that's so cool. That's actually a great idea.
Honestly, that is one of my bucket. I never say bucket list because you don't know when your time's gonna come. I'd say it's one of those things I would love to do is the Dakar. You mentioned Dakar rally, and I am full focus. That's one of my favorite races ever. The Dakar.
Too bad they went to Saudi Arabia this year, though.
Yeah, I kind of liked it when it was in South America, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean, they did it, but I liked it when it was South America. I thought about going down there just to watch it, man. The Dakar is that's a brutal race, but it's beautiful. People don't know.
Let's go to the Baja 1000 together this year.
That's in Ensenada, right?
Yeah.
Check this out. I stumbled up. I literally stopped. I was working a cruise ship, and we happened to be in Ensenada, and I was like, "What's going on here?" And I got closer, and the dock from the starting point to the Baja, I swear, I lied not, was probably less than 500 meters, and I go, and that's what
that's so awesome.
When we pulled in, I swear, I literally go, "Thank you, Jesus," and I ran there, and I bought all these stickers because I'm the biggest dork in the world, and I go, "Oh my God, I'm at the Baja," and I mean, I can't, only because we're both bike dorks, but man, I was there, and I was like, "Thank you, Jesus, thank you," and I was just looking at all the bikes, and I was like, I mean,
that's so cool.
I've always wanted to do rally. That's one of my that's one of my guilty pleasures. Rally. I always wanted. So, what's one of yours? Other than we talked about the boyfriend, whatever. But what's one of your guilty pleasures?
So I love to travel and take landscape photography to the extreme.
Like what kind of extreme?
Like hike into the most random place so that you can get a picture of a beautiful shot, but that no one's ever taken before because they weren't willing to climb up that crazy boulder or stand in the middle of the river.
So you still got that in you.
Swim out to that crazy little island in the middle of,
Good for you.
Stuff like that.
You still got that adventurous in you. That's great, man. I love that.
Yeah. I don't think that's ever going to go away, man.
I can tell it won't. Good for you. Keep that. That's what makes you. You know what I mean? So, okay. How about this? What is your best ride ever that you've ridden to where you go, I mean, don't get me wrong, all rides are great. We both know that. But what's your best, the one that sticks out in your mind? You go, oh, that just, it captures your heart.
So I'm so lucky to have a whole list of them.
Right.
But I'll stay in the United States.
Okay.
Homie. My ride sounds almost orgasmic.
My keep talking.
Ride.
Okay.
Is from a little bitty town called Shell, Wyoming.
Yes. I read about
Shell
that.
Canyon up and over the Bighorn Mountains down to Sheridan.
Down to Sheridan, Wyoming.
Yes. So that entire route is just, first of all, there's nobody around. There are no people.
It's Wyoming.
The town of Shell is 50 population of 50. That's insane.
Yeah.
You go over a waterfall, you flank a river, you go through a canyon, you go to the top of a mountain. The top of the mountain smells like flowers and pine trees. Nice. You go down the other side of the mountain, and then you end up in a cool little town called Sheridan, which has awesome barbecue. So I don't even know how it can get any better than that.
Did you stop in that? Did you stop in that barbecue? Did you stop in that barbecue?
Yes.
What'd you eat?
Oh man, I'm brisket and ribs.
Oh my God. If you're not the dream girl, I don't know who is. You stop for barbecue at briskets and ribs. We should just stop this interview right now. I'm going to rally over there and I'm going to talk to Dave and say, listen, maybe we can make you like a reverse Mormon. You can have like two boyfriends.
Every girl's dream.
Yeah, you can have two.
You.
Yeah, you don't have to see me. You see me like once every blue moon, and I won't make it weird. I won't,
Be
what I
my
mean?
side piece.
Yeah.
BT the side piece.
BT the side piece. Like, and you see me for February because it's Black History Month. You can see me for February. That's my only that's my only requirement that you
How
see
are you
me.
celebrating Black History with my side piece?
I'm celebrating the right way, the way Martin Luther would have wanted us to celebrate it.
Oh my God. I'm going to tell David he's not allowed to listen to this interview.
Hey, you went there first. Okay. Okay, we'll switch it. What's your most miserable ride? And I mean, where you going, oh boy. And it just, because I've had rides, you have rides where you start off and you're geared up and everything's right, but it just, like something happens and it just keeps getting worse and worse until the point of you have to laugh inside your helmet because it's going so bad.
Also Wyoming. Funny enough. I was riding from Salt Lake City, Utah to Denver, Colorado. And I wanted to get there quickly. So I took like the really boring highway route through Wyoming. And they were doing road construction. Mm-hmm. So it was a 4-lane highway that had turned into a 2-lane highway. Okay. And the only thing between you and the oncoming traffic was like the orange like sticks.
Okay.
And there was gravel everywhere. And it was raining like fucking crazy. So the semi trucks coming the other way were hitting me with raining gravel. But because it was construction and in the middle of Wyoming, there was nowhere to stop. So I had to just keep going.
Yes.
And I was so pissed off that I started screaming inside my helmet just to let it out. And it triggered my 911 emergency call on my comm system. So all of a sudden it's 911, what is your emergency? And I'm like, oh shit, sorry. I don't know what I did, but I'm okay. Okay, bye.
Oh, that is awesome.
I didn't even know that was a feature, but I guess I screamed long and loud enough that my comm system was like, this bitch is dying. We should probably call 911. I'm not joking. I have no idea how that happened.
The greatest thing is being inside your helmet and scream. I didn't know people could hear you outside of your helmet. I remember being at a stoplight and I go, God damn it, why can't these fucking people know how to fucking drive? And there was a van and you see all these heads turn and look out. And then I think the girl I was dating at the time was ahead of me in her car and she goes, hey, those people heard you. And I go, are you serious? Because I didn't realize they could hear you in your helmet because the visor was down. I go, these fucking people don't know how to fucking drive. And they were in a van. And they heard
sound is wafting out from underneath your full face.
Okay, let me ask you another question. Okay, what's the best motorcycle movie? I've seen so many motorcycle movies that are just shit. I mean, that's not a documentary. That's not a documentary. The best motorcycle movie.
Do you want to know what got me into wanting to ride a sport bike in the first place?
What?
No joke. Biker Boys.
I
was in high school. I was in middle school when it came out. And I swear to God, it was the coolest movie I had ever seen in my life. I wanted to be the one girl who was in the boys club and had her own bike. I'm not kidding. I mean, Biker Boys is the shit. I will still watch that movie and have a good time because I'm not blowing smoke.
Okay, Biker Boy. Let me tell you, here's what you do. When we get off and when we get off and when you Netflix and chill, you're the dude you're using right now until I get there in February. I want you to watch the movie called Burnout. It's a French movie. It's going to be in subtitles, but that's the best motorcycle movie you'll ever see because it's so real, or it could be real. And I mean, that movie was so only like I think people who really ride understand. It's like he's with his woman and the kid, and they're all happy, and he's looking at her and he's talking to her, and she's talking to him, and he's listening, and outside he hears a woo, 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 woo. And he's like, he has to listen to her, but he kind of turns his head to the side. And only people that ride would understand that. And that's why you got to watch it. It's called Burnout. It's a great movie. Watch it. And watch it. And then I want you to text me. I don't care what time it is. You text me and go, you were right. That's all I want you to do. Say you were right. That's all I want you to do. Okay. Yeah.
I mean, what else do we do when we hear the song of our people?
Yes. Isn't it the greatest? Is that the? I remember being at Black Bike Week in Myrtle Beach. And I rode all day and I came in it was like 3:00 in the morning. I came in and I was like tired, rode all day. I get off the bike and this guy had passed me. He was going to get on his bike and I was walking. I was almost in the hotel and I heard, woo, and I go, and I turned back and looked to see what bike he was riding. And that's how you know, man, that it's in you and you can't.
When were you there? I was there in 2007.
there's a guy walking past and he said he heard burnout and he's agreeing with me. As a guy, he can't see our
cool.
studio, but it's on the streets of Indianapolis. We're downtown Indy, and he goes, and you can hear it outside, and he goes, "I watched Burnout. It's a great movie, so you better watch that, Brittany. You better watch that, man. Oh my God.
Are you on Meridian Street, by the way?
No, we're on okay, if you go to Instagram stories, you'll see. But we're on. But what street is this? Market. Yeah, Market Street. We're on Market Street.
Oh, cool.
You've come here for the GP, right?
Oh yeah, I went every year that it was in Indy.
And you went to the after party, right?
Yeah.
How did you miss me? Because no offense, but there's only so many Black people that are in the GP. So how did you miss me? I mean, and that was when I was about 10 pounds lighter, but I was more yoked. So you had to be like, damn, who's this brother here? Who's this smooth brother here? And he's riding. What? How did you not see me?
I've known who you are for a really long time, actually.
You've been stalking me?
I have. Yes. But the reason why we probably never talked was because Black Moses had a wall up. Like, you can't talk to BT.
So Black Moses cock blocked me is what you're trying to say?
Yeah, he was gatekeeping.
Are you serious?
No.
When I get off this, because I interviewed, he was my first guest on here.
Oh, Alan. Yeah.
I love Alan, but to find that now that it could have been me and you could have been here in Indy and we could have been dirt biking together and we could have been a couple and it was all Alan's fault. It's on.
Okay. Oh, you're not allowed to directly quote me on that one. You just call Alan and be like, so a little bird told me that. He was gatekeeping on all the celebrities.
See, we could have been
He was like the bodyguard.
Man, I do love Alan though. And you know what I like about Alan? And I'm trying to take Alan's place is honestly, is that he places women in such a positive light in his magazine when he could easily go down the Easy Rider thing or whatever, women in bikinis, which is nothing wrong with it. But he places women in such a positive role in his magazines. And that's what I wanted to do here. And you're my first female guest, And I hate for it to sound that way. Like, it's almost like somebody going, hey, I got a Black friend. You know what I mean? But it's like, I wanted to have somebody I respected and somebody that rode. And honestly, that's why I wanted you to be my first guest, man. And it's funny thing about it, when I came down here to do this interview and I was so psyched, my roommate came in right when I was leaving and she had a crash on her motorcycle where it was in the daytime. And a drunk driver in the daytime hit her in a pickup truck head on. She broke every bone in her body except for her neck. They airlifted her, and it happened in September also, in the same month, in September. I think it was a year before yours, a year or two before yours. And she went through the same thing you went through. And I look at her in the same way, man. I just love strong women like yourself. And I mean it from the bottom of my heart. I mean, all flirting aside that we're doing. I mean, I look up to you. I think you're a great role model for just people. Like I said, I mean, not just, and I think it's great that women have a role model or anybody have, but I think it's great to look up to you and the fact that you chose the positive path to go down when you could have easily just chucked it in and go, woe is me, life sucks, just, it shouldn't happen to me. And you could have went to drugs, you could have went whatever, you could have went a pot negative, but you chose the positive side. And that's what I love about what you did with your life. You saw what happened and you said, you know what, I got this opportunity to change, and you seized it. And that's what I love about you, man. And I cannot commend you more for that. And what you do is awesome. Your writing, your everything you do, and your Instagram, and just everything about you. I just want to say thank you for just being that beacon of light for people to look up to. I mean, for women, I think it's great, but just for people. I mean, it's not just women, but for a man to look at you and say, I'm going through this, and I'm so glad, that somebody else went through it. And if she did it, damn it, I can do it. So, I just want to say thank you for choosing that positive path. And attitude is everything in life. And you chose the right attitude. And I think that is awesome. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart, B. I mean that.
BT, thank you so much. Like, your words, like, it matters what you say to people and the energy that you give to them. So I want to say thank you so much, because you just made my whole week. Attitude is everything. It's also contagious.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, talking to you, I feel that. And it's so funny because like now I really want to go play soccer against you, and I really want to score against you, and I want to put you down, and I want us to be like hate each other until like they're and then we shake hands and we trade jerseys. I mean that.
Do a little like tunnel, you walk through the tunnel.
Yeah, I do it. Yeah. Okay. If you could be any soccer player, who would it be? Who would it be?
Me.
Okay. Other than yourself. Other than yourself. Male or female?
Honestly, it's so weird to think like I want to be somebody else.
Right.
Because
Oh, that's beautiful.
I tried to teach myself a long time ago that it's not about I want what that person has. It's I also want to be like that.
Oh, that's
So
beautiful. Nice.
yeah,
Okay.
I want to be me, but have all the things that I want to.
Oh,
So.
I love that. That's great. Honestly, no, that's beautiful. You ain't got to explain yourself, girl. Thank you. It's all about believing in yourself. Good for you. Me, I'd be Ronaldo. I mean, I want to look good and score goals
Oh
and have
man,
that.
he is so hot.
Honestly, I don't even go that way, but if I did, I'd be Ronaldo. I'd be like,
yeah.
When he takes his shirt off and he goes, please don't touch me. I wanted to see how beautiful I am. When he scores the goal and takes his shirt off and his teammates want to jump on, he goes, no, please don't touch. I'm Ronaldo. Yeah. I'm beautiful.
That will cost you $500.
It will. I know you're confused right now because you're a man and I am a man. I often confuse myself how beautiful I am, but please do not touch me. No. You treat him like he's in a china shop. Don't touch the merchandise. That's what he's like. He's a beautiful man. All right. Before I wrap it up, I'm gonna ask you. I know you ride a Triumph. I know you have your dream bike. I mean, your race bike is a Yamaha, but dream bike, the bike that you go, the bike, your dream bike of all time. What is it?
Right now, it is a KTM 790, but the prototype that they put out before they put out the real version of it. Mm-hmm. I want a 790 Duke R built into the prototype that they originally showed us, the Scalpel. Nice. Do you know what video I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The Scalpel.
Oh.
So the bike that Chris broke the record on at Pikes Peak before they banished motorcycles for however long they're going to banish them for.
Yeah.
The 790 Duke R. It looks like orange sex. I know that sounds weird, but
no, you keep going.
Tubular frame, nothing between the tail and the rear wheel, just all this space, and the tail is just pointy like a fucking blade, like it's gonna jab you in the face, and the front end, it's just it goes wherever you want, and it's naked on the front end, so nothing better than naked. Yeah, that's my dream.
I love
I'll send you pictures. I'll text you some photos.
Dude, hey, you got the number. We got each other. No, DM me, whatever. We got the number. I'm getting the wrap it up something from my producer. I could talk to you all day, man. I cannot begin to tell you how I knew it was going to go great, but it's even going better than I even imagined. I knew it was going to be great, but man, I can't even tell you how much I enjoyed the hell out of this, man. You are incredible, funny, and I know you're using a boyfriend until I get there, so it's cool. I know it's so don't tell.
Black History Month's only a couple months away.
You prepare yourself.
Thank you so much for having me. I've had so much fun. This is like it's not like an interview or a formal thing. It's like chatting with a friend. So
that's what we are. Honestly, that's what we are. We share the same passion. And I think the same passion for life, not just bikes. I think bikes are the big part of it, but passion for life. Attitude is everything. Brittany Morrow, thank you so much, baby. Stay safe out there. And man, I can't wait to actually see you in person. I hope to get a ride in with you someday.
Amen.
Thank you, baby. Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye.